Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and pranams. Thank you very much for joining in for our teachings of Kunti study session 4. We are going to start verse number 5 today, or chapter number 5 today. Let's start with the prayers. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadhaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Dushe Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yatkripa tamham vande Shri Gurun dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tatsat Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Taralaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you very much for joining in for our teachings of Queen Kunti session number 4 today. So we are starting with chapter number 5. So let me share my screen. Let's go on to this verse, the very, very wonderful verse, how Kunti Maharani is taking darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, starting from the navel of the Lord. Prabhupada will explain here how Kunti Maharani, being the aunt of the Lord, is taking darshan from the navel because she's embarrassed to take darshan from the lotus feet of the Lord. But as sadhaka bhaktas, what we need to do, we need to take darshan of the Lord starting from the lotus feet until the lotus face of the Lord. And Srimad Bhagavatam also represents, the first 2 cantos represent the lotus feet of the Lord until the 10th canto, which actually is the lotus face of the Lord. The 11th canto is the forehead of the Lord, and 12th canto is the head of the Lord, like that. So we need to study Srimad Bhagavatam also in that order, from the first canto to the 12th canto, right? From the lotus feet, just like we take darshan of the Lord, from the lotus feet of the Lord, going up towards the lotus face of the Lord, the lotus head of the Lord, and the forehead of the Lord and the head of the Lord, like that. Okay, so the vision of lotuses, that's what this chapter is entitled. Namo Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye. Shri Shamapriya Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flower, whose glance is as cool as lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.22. Here are some of the specific symbolical marks on the spiritual body of the personality of Godhead, which distinguishes his body from the bodies of all others. They are all special features of the body of the Lord. Lord may appear as one of us, but he is always distinct by his specific bodily features. Srimati Kunti claims herself unfit to see the Lord because of her being a woman. This is claimed because women, Shudras, the labor class, and the Dvijabandhus, or direct descendants of the higher 3 classes, are unfit by intelligence to understand the transcendental subject matter concerning the spiritual name, fame, attributes, forms, etc. of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Such persons, although they are unfit to enter into the spiritual affairs of the Lord, can see him as the Archavigraha, who descends on the material world just to distribute favors to the fallen souls, including the above mentioned women, Shudras, and Vijabandhus. Because such fallen souls cannot see anything beyond matter, the Lord condescends to enter into each and every one of the innumerable universes as the Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu, who grows a lotus stem from the lotus-like depression in the center of his transcendental abdomen, and thus Brahma, the first living being in the universe, is born. Therefore, Lord is known as Pankaja Navi.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Right? So, Namo Pankajanabhaya. Right? What is Kunti Maharani praying? Right? She is starting her darshan from the lotus navel of the Lord. And Prabhupada explains in a lecture how we don't have any particular reference to understand the beauty of the Lord. Actually, the Lord's beauty is much, much more than the lotus. Right? So, Prabhupada tells here that because we material people, living in this material world, cannot understand the beauty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Somehow to bring it to our understanding, right? What is the best that is explainable? In that way, the Lord is being explained here, right? So, like Krishna himself tells in Bhagavad Gita, Yadyad Vibhuti Vatsattvam Srimad Urjitam Evava Tattat Evavagachatvam Mama Teju Amsha Sambhavam. Right? So the best of whatever we see in this material world, it actually is but a spark of splendor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So here, what is being referred to as lotus, Namo Pankajanabhaya, Namo Pankajamalini, is wearing a nice garland of lotus flowers. Namo Pankajanetraya, his eyes or his vision or his drishti is also like that of a lotus. Namo Pankajamalini, Namo Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangre, right? I pay my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And again, this point is coming, where Kunti Maharani is exhibiting her humility. Right? How do we, Shudras and Dvijabandhus and women, be able to understand you? Right? And for such people, for all of us in this age of Kali, we're all Kali, Shudra, Sambhava. Right? For all of us in this age of Kali, Krishna has actually mercifully descended in the form of the Archa Vigraha, in the form of the Ashtadhatu form, either made of metals or in the Daru Brahman form, in the form of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Sudarshanji. Right? To take worship and so that we can develop our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Lord is called Pankajanabhi, right? Pankajanabhi means the Lord accepts the Archa Vigraha form in various elements, that is made of wood, earth, metal, etc. Right? So let's continue reading this. How the Lord's mercy is depicted by how he appears in the form of Archa Vigraha. So let's continue reading. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah, Sudhanshu Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Yes, go ahead.
The Pankajanaabha Lord accepts the Archa Vigraha, his transcendental form, in different elements, namely a form within the mind, a form made of wood, a form made on earth, a form made on metal, a form made of jewels, a form made of paint, a form drawn on sand, etc. All such forms of Lord are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers. There should be a soothing atmosphere in the temple of worship to attract the burning attention of the non devotees always engaged in material wranglings. The meditators, the meditators worship a form within the mind. Therefore, the Lord is merciful even to the women, Shudras, and Dvij provided they agree to visit the temple and worship the different form made for them. Such temple visitors are not idolaters as alleged by some men with a poor fund of knowledge. All the great acharyas established such temple of worship in all places just to favor the less intelligent, and one should not pose himself as transcending the stage of temple worship while one is actually in the category of the Shudras and the women or less. One should begin to see the Lord from his lotus feet gradually rising to the thighs, waist, chest, and face. One should not try to look at the face of the Lord without being accustomed to seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. Srimati Kunti, because of her being the aunt of the Lord, did not begin to see the Lord from the lotus feet because the Lord might feel ashamed. And thus, Kunti Devi, just to save a painful situation for the Lord, began to see the Lord just above his lotus feet, that is, from the waist of the Lord, gradually rising to the face and then down to the lotus feet in the round. Everything there is in order.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Haribol. So
Hare
we also
Dandavat.
remember the Damodar Leela, right? So how do we offer? We offer four at the lotus, four times. The lamp, we offer four times. Ghee lamp at the lotus feet of the Lord four times, twice to the navel of the Lord, thrice to the lotus face of the Lord, and seven times around the body of the Lord. Just like Mother Yashoda did, right? After the Nalakwera and Manigriva were delivered, right? They were pushed down by Lord Sri Krishna as a small baby when he was tied to the motor. Then Mother Yashoda rushes to the courtyard to check what has caused this huge sound. And Mother Yashoda is checking, oh, these two trees have been pulled on by my little baby. And what does Mother Yashoda do? It is evening time. So Mother Yashoda actually brings a lamp and checks if the Lord is okay. And that's what we also practice when we offer lamp to the Lord, right? For four to the lotus feet, twice to the navel, three to lotus face, and seven across the entire body of the Lord. So that is how we also take darshan of the Lord, right? From the lotus feet till the lotus face of the Lord. Okay, let's continue. And here Prabhupada also talks about how Kunti Maharani is very sensitive to the Lord also. How the Lord, because being a pure devotee of the Lord, Kunti Maharani is able to understand what will please the Lord, right? But as Sadhaka Bhaktas, we need to follow rules and regulations. When we become a pure devotee of the Lord, then we will understand what pleases the Lord. And according to that, we can serve the Lord like that. Okay, Mani Manjari Mataji, please go ahead. If one sees a lotus flower, Mani Manjari Mataji, you're able to unmute. Okay, Priya Bhashini Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam Mataji. If one sees a lotus flower, one can immediately remember Krishna. For example, if one loves one's child and one sees any of the child's garment or his shoes or a simple ship or any of the playthings, one will immediately remember the child. Oh, these are my child's shoes. These are my child's playthings. This is his garment. This is the nature of love. So if one actually loves God, Krishna, one can remember him always. It is not difficult to remember Krishna. Here, Kunti Devi describes Krishna with reference to lotus flowers. Similarly, when Krishna describes himself in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Raso aham apsu konteya. I am the taste of liquids. So one can remember Krishna by tasting water. Even if one is drinking liquor, if he thinks the taste of this drink is Krishna, he will one day turn out to be a great saintly person. So I can request even dunkyards to become Krishna consciousness. What to speak of others? Because Krishna says, Raho amapsu konteya, I am the taste of liquids. Generally, in this context, liquid is taken to mean water, but liquor is also liquid. It is and molasses is some combination.
Mataji, your voice is breaking. Okay. So let me, okay. Mani Manjari Mataji, are you able to continue?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna,
So
Dhanvat.
I am the taste of liquids. Generally, in this context, liquid is taken to mean water. But liquor is also liquid. It is only sugar and molasses or some other combination, fermented and distilled. Of course, it is bad because it creates intoxication. Although in one sense, nothing is bad. Liquor is bad because it creates bad effects. In America, there are many drunkards. There is no scarcity of them. But I may request even the drunkards, when drinking wine, kindly remember that the taste of this drink is Krishna. Just begin in this way, and one day you will become a saintly, Krishna conscious person. So, Krishna is available under any circumstances if we want to catch him. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 10.10, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and who worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. If one is actually very serious in searching for Krishna, Krishna is everywhere. Annantarastata pramanu chayantarastam govindam adi purusham tamham bhajami. Brahma Samhita 5.35. Krishna is present within the universe, within our hearts, and even within the atom. So it is not difficult to find him. One must know the process by which to do so. This process is very simple, and by the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are distributing this process to everyone without charge. The process is to chant Hare Krishna. As soon as one chants Hare Krishna, one will immediately understand Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Similar-
So, thank you, Hare Krishna. So, actually, Prabhupada explains in a lecture how we need to develop the vision to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, Krishna is always giving his darshan to all of us, but have we developed the vision to see the Lord? Right? Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santaha sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Right? In Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma prays that we should develop this prema anjana, just like Prabhupada says that we put some kind of kajal in our eyes, some kind of ointment, so that we can see better. Similarly, we need to put the ointment of prema. Only then we'll be able to see or have darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And people do see him like that. Santaha sadaiva hridayesh vilokayanti. The great saints, the great sadhus, the great devotees of the Lord, they eternally see the Lord in their hearts. Santa sadaiva hridayesh vilokayanti. And what form do they see? Yam shama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam. They see the Lord with innumerable wonderful spiritual qualities. Govindam purusham tamaham bhajami. So let me offer my obeisances unto that Govinda, who is full of transcendental qualities, who is appearing as this beautiful Shamasundar form, right? And we also sing this in Darshanarti, right? Venum kvanantama ravinda dalaya daksham barhavatam samasitam buddha sundarangam kandarpa koti kamaniya visesha shobham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. That Shamasundar form is what we all aspire to see, right? Wearing nice yellow garments, wearing a nice peacock feather, right? We aspire to see that form. Yes, we will be able to see that form, but the process starts by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This process is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not seeing anybody's qualification. In Kali Yuga, everybody is a Shudra, but yet all of us have been given this opportunity to rise above the three modes of material nature, to rise above the Chatur Varnyam of being Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and reach the transcendental platform where we can have direct darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? And you also know how the Lord and his holy names are non-different. Right? Namachintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purnashuddho Nityamukto Abhinnatva Nama Namino. The Lord and the Lord's form and the Lord's holy name are non-different. So every day in the morning, during the auspicious Brahma Muhurta time, we have this fortune of taking the darshan of the Lord. How? By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And this process has been given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this process has been taken even to the Western world after crossing the oceans at the age of 69, at the ripe old age when everybody retired. Prabhupada took this risk, suffered 2 heart attacks, and went to the Western world. And this, in Prabhupada Lilamrita, is described how the white elephants have been brought by Srila Prabhupada to India, and then India also started this process of Krishna consciousness. So in this way, Prabhupada has given us the method, the process by which we can see Lord Sri Krishna. Okay, let's continue reading. Similarly, simply by hearing or chanting, who's reading now? Mani Manjari Mataji, can you lower your hand? Chitra Aravale Mataji, please go ahead. Simply by hearing or chanting the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danda Pranam. Similarly, simply by hearing or chanting the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, one can be purified. Whatever knowledge exists in the world is present in Srimad Bhagavatam. It includes literature, poetry, astronomy, philosophy, religion, and love of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. If one simply reads Srimad Bhagavatam, he gains the topmost education. For if one studies with Srimad Bhagavatam, he will be well versed in every subject matter. Even if one does not understand a single word of the mantras of Srimad Bhagavatam, the vibrations themselves have such power that simply by chanting one will be purified. Shrunavantam Swakatham Krishna Punya.
Punya Shravana Kirtana.
The word Punya means pious, Shravana means hearing, and Kirtana means chanting. One who chants or hears the words of Srimad Bhagavatam, they become pious automatically. To become pious, one generally has to endeavor a great deal. But if one simply hears the words of Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, one becomes pious automatically. Therefore, it is a rigid principle in every temple of our Krishna consciousness movement that there must be a daily class for hearing and chanting. Our movement is meant for training spiritual leaders, but without hearing and chanting, it is impossible to become a leader. Of course, in the material world it is possible, but not in spiritual world.
Hare Krishna. Thank
May
you,
I continue,
Mataji.
Mataji? Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So, Srila Rupa Goswami has given 64 angas of bhakti in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He's saying by performing the 64 angas of bhakti, one can reawaken one's love for the Supreme Lord. And Srila Rupa Goswami again says, it is difficult to perform all the 64 angas of bhakti. So, the top 5 angas of bhakti have been given by Rupa Goswami. Right? Sadhu Sanganama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Shri Murtaya Shradhaya Sevana. Right? All of these 5 angas of bhakti, and even it is mentioned about 40 angas of this bhakti that's given by Rupa Goswami out of the 64 angas are all practiced by a devotee at least on a Sunday when we go for the Mangalarti program, right? Until the Sunday feast after the Srimad Bhagavatam class, when we are attending a morning program which starts with Mangalarti and then Tulasi Arati and then the Shikshashtakam prayers, and then we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then we greet the Lord at 7:30 a.m. by chanting the Darshanarti verses from Brahma Samhita, and then we have the Srimad Bhagavatam class, and then we have we honor Prasadam. Right, this entire program from 4:30 to 9 a.m. in the morning, it says that it covers at least 40 of the 64 angas of bhakti. So Prabhupada has given us a very easy way. Right, simply Shravanam Kirtanam. Right, and here Prabhupada mentions Shrinvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. What happens? Hridayantasto Hyabhadrani Vidhunoti Suhritsatham. Hridayasto Hyabhadrani. Whatever abhadras are there in our heart, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, they are all removed. And in this place, what is established in the heart? The bhakti or devotion or love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is established in the heart. And how was it established? Nashtaprayeshreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuki. So every day when we are starting the Bhagavatam class, we sing this verse. What happens? Nashtaprayesha, whatever abhadras are there in our heart is removed simply by Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport how there are 2 Bhagavatas that we have to serve. One is the book Bhagavatam and the other is the person Bhagavatam. Right? Book Bhagavatam is what we are reading, Srimad Bhagavatam, which has been given in this form of teachings of Queen Kunti by, which is the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. The first canto, 8th chapter is what is summarized in this book, Teachings of Queen Kunti by Srila Prabhupada. Right? So in this way, when we study Srimad Bhagavatam, right, or any book of Srila Prabhupada for that reason, right, Prabhupada has given us in a very small tablet form of the Srimad Bhagavatam is given in the small tablet form. We simply take this tablet, little bit of it, we read every day. Then our heart will be purified of all the abhadras, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion. These are all removed and our heart will become conducive or become an instrument to receive the mercy of the Lord, should receive the devotion for the of Godhead. And it is simply possible by Sadhu Sangha Namakirtana Bhagavata Shravana, in the association of devotees. When we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When we hear Bhagavatam, right, ABCD square formula given by Prabhupada, in the association of devotees, we study Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, we chant in the association of devotees, we render devotional service, and we make our home, a dham. Right? So in this way, Dhamavas are also included in the ABCD square formula given by Srila Prabhupada. So sitting in the comforts of our home, we can reawaken our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thanks to His divine grace, Avecharana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. So let's move ahead. Malihaya se bija kare aropana, Shravana Kirtana jale karaya shechana. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 19.152. Hearing and chanting waters the seed of devotional service which develops one's original Krishna consciousness. Okay, Neha Mataji, please go ahead. So here in these prayers,
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam. So here in these prayers, Kunti Devi, a great devotee, is giving us an opportunity to become Krishna conscious simply by concentrating our mind on Pankaja, the lotus flower. Pankaja means mud and Ja means generate. Although the lotus flower is generated from mud, it is most important flower and Krishna likes it very much. Kunti Devi therefore describes all the parts of Krishna's body with reference to lotus flowers, so that as soon as one sees a lotus flower, one will immediately think of Krishna. Oh, Krishna's navel is just like a lotus, and from Krishna's navel grew the stem of lotus upon which Brahma, the creator of this universe, was born. This universe includes so many planets, seas, mountains, and cities with motor cars and other paraphernalia. But the entire universe began from that lotus. Namaha Pankaja Maline. From Krishna comes the wonderful lotus flower that contains the seed of the entire universe. But he is not the source of only one such flower. Krishna is not so poor that he simply produces the lotus flower and then is finished. No. Just as there may be a garland with many flowers, Krishna is the source of innumerable universes which may be compared to a big garland of lotuses. This is God. Yashyaika Nishvashita Kalam Athavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja
Natah.
Jagat Anda Natha. Brahma Samhita 5.48. Krishna is unlimited. We are very much concerned with this one planet, but Krishna's creation contains an unlimited number of planets. We cannot count how many planets there are. Any more than one can count how many hairs there are on one's head. This is the nature of Krishna's creation. To give another example, on one tree there is an unlimited number of leaves. Similarly, there's an unlimited number of planets and there are unlimited universes. Therefore, Krishna is unlimited. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So, very, very wonderful, easy examples Prabhupada gives, right? So that the message reaches us, right? So it is said that this material universe is only 1/4 of the creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 3/4 of the creation is that eternal Dhama, which never gets annihilated. And this 1/4 of this material world, we are situated in one such Brahmanda, right? Brahmande Brahmite Kona, right? There are millions and millions of Brahmandas, which simply emerges by the breathing of the Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. When the Karadakashaya Vishnu, he breathes out, right, from the pores of the Lord, the small pores of the Lord, many Brahmandas emanate, and in each of the pores, each of the Brahmandas, who goes in, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu goes there and lies down in the Garbhodaka ocean, and then in each jiva, in each universe, the Lord enters personally as Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. Right? So this is the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada gives example, just like in Kali Yuga, it's very, very difficult to understand, this greatness of the Lord, how Brahma is created from the navel of Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, how these, various universes are created. So Prabhupada simply gives a very beautiful example, how there is a tree, there are many leaves. So like that, in this, and there are innumerable universes, and therefore Krishna is unlimited. So to explain the glory of Lord Sri Krishna, just like Kunti Maharani is using the example of a lotus flower, Prabhupada is actually explaining with the help of a tree and the number of leaves, right? Yata taror moola nishechanena. Prabhupada mentions in the purport in one of the verses of Bhagavad Gita, how when we water the root of the tree, the entire plants, the leaf, the stem, the branches, everything get nourished. Similarly, we should understand that Krishna is the source of all of this Brahmanda, whatever is created, right? And Prabhupada also mentions, Rasoham apsu konteya, prabhashmi shashishoryo, pranavaha sarva vedeshu, right? So Krishna can be remembered when we perform various activities, right? These days we don't get to see lotus so much, right? But when we drink water, we can remember Krishna. Rasoham apsu konteya, right? Prabhashmi shashishoryo. When we see the sun, when we see the moon, we can still remember Krishna. Pranavaha sarva vedeshu. When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you should know that this Omkara, Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Omkara are not different. But the mantra is prescribed for this age of Kali is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So whatever we do, we can relate to Krishna and we can remember Krishna through the chanting of the holy names, when we drink water, when we have darshan of the sun, when we see the moon, etc. Right? So we can always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead like that. Okay, Rani Mataji, please go ahead. Krishna's navel resembles a lotus from there.
Krishna's navel resembles a lotus. He is garlanded with lotuses, and his eyes are also compared to the petals of a lotus. Alola Chandraka Lasad Vanamalya Vamshi. Brahma Samhita 5.31. So if we simply think of only this one verse, which describes Krishna's body with reference to the lotus, We can meditate our whole life on how beautiful Krishna is, how wise Krishna is, and how Krishna manifests his creation. This is meditation, thinking of Krishna. Dhyana vastita tadgadena manasa pashyanti yam yoginah. A yogi is one who always thinks of Krishna. Though those who think of something impersonal are not yogis. Their meditation simply involves undergoing more and more labor. Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam. And they cannot reach anything substantial. Therefore, after meditation, they say, "Come on, give me a cigarette. Come on, my throat is now dry. Give me a cigarette." That is not meditation. Meditation means thinking of Krishna always, satatam chintayanto mam, and endeavoring to advance in Krishna consciousness with a firm vow, yatantascha dridavrataha. We have to be
Thank you, ma'am.
purified. Param,
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here, what is stated by Prabhupada is how we can always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, Sri Guru Maharaj always blesses Krishna Mati Rastu, right? That is the blessing that His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, Sri Guru Maharaj always gives anybody and everybody when he offers that stick. So our greatest benediction is not dhanam, janam, sundarim, right? Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani, janmanishware, bhavatad bhakti rahaitu tvai. So the greatest blessing that we can ever get from any sadhu, from any of our gurus, is to always be able to remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Tatatam kirtayanto mam yadantascha dradavartaha namasyantascha mam bhaktya Nitya Yukta Upasate, right? Satatam Kirtayanto mam. 24 hours of the day. If we remember Krishna, if we glorify Krishna, then our life will be perfect. Krishna himself tells in 6.47. What does Krishna say? Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmana. Shraddhavan bachate yomam same yukta tamomataha. The best of the yogis is not the person who can become bigger than the biggest or smaller than the smallest. But the best of the yogis is one who always remembers me. Madgaten antaratmana, who always thinks of me within his mind. And to such a person, I am not different from him. I am always with him. And he is always with me. Madgaten antaratmana, Shraddhavan bhajate yomam, who does bhakti with faith. Same yukta tamomataha. Such a person is always with me, and I am always with such a person. So Krishna declares who is the best yogi, which is the best yogic process. And Krishna himself declares that it is bhakti yoga, which means to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Yeah. Tina Mataji, please go ahead. We have to be purified from there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danda Pranam. Yes,
Mataji.
we have to be purified. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam. Because Krishna is pure, we cannot approach Krishna impurely. But if we think of Krishna always and meditate upon Krishna, then we shall be purified. Punya Shravanam Kirtanam. That meditation can be possible by hearing and chanting, and then thinking of Krishna will automatically come. That is the process of Krishna conscious. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. The word Smaranam means remembering. If we chant and hear, then remembrance will automatically come, and then we shall engage in worshipping Krishna's lotus feet, Sevanam. Then we shall engage in the temple worship, Archanam, and offering prayers, Vandanam. We shall engage ourselves as Krishna's servants, Dasyam. We shall become Krishna's friend, Sakhyam. And we shall surrender everything to Krishna, Atma Nivedanam. This is the process of Krishna consciousness. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So with this, we complete chapter number 5. Yeah. So Prahlad Maharaj actually gives us this process. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnum, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Right? These 9 processes of bhakti will enable one to attain perfection. And it is not that one has to perform all the 9 angas of bhakti. Right? And Prabhupada explains in that particular verse how Shukadeva Goswami, he attained perfection simply by glorifying the Lord by Kirtanam. Parikshit Maharaj perfected his life simply by Shravanam. So like that, every process has got an Acharya or a person who has perfected their life simply by performing one process. And even if one performs all the processes, like Vali Maharaj is a representative of Atma Nivedanam, right? So in this way, every process, even if we perform one process perfectly, whether it is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, or whatever, then actually we will be able to reawaken our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now we are going to chapter number 6, Master of the Senses. So very beautifully these chapters have been entitled by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaranda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, which gives the gist of the chapter in the title itself. यथा ऋषिकेश कलेन देवकी कंसेन रुद्धाति चिरं शुचार्पिता विमोचिताहं च सहात्मजा विभो त्ववैव नायेन मुहुर्विपद्गणात्. Anusha Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you, Mataji. O Rishikesha, master of the senses and lord of lords, you have released your mother Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious king Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.23. Devaki, the mother of Krishna and sister of King Kamsa, was put into prison along with her husband Vasudeva because the envious king was afraid of being killed by Devaki's eighth son Krishna. The king killed all the sons of Devaki who were born before Krishna, but Krishna escaped the danger of child slaughter because he was transferred to the house of Nanda Maharaja, Lord Krishna's foster father. Kunti Devi, along with her children, was also saved from a series of dangers. But Kunti Devi was shown far more favor because Lord Krishna did not save the other children of Devaki, whereas he saved the children of Kunti Devi. This was done because Devaki's husband Vasudeva was living, whereas Kunti Devi was a widow, and there was none to help her except Krishna. The conclusion is that Krishna bestows more favor upon a devotee who is in greater danger. Sometimes he puts his pure devotees in such dangers because in that condition of helplessness, the devotee becomes more attached to the Lord. The more the attachment is there for the Lord, the more success is there for the devotee. Devaki, the devotee who became the mother of Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is very wonderful, actually, right? How Prabhupada is drawing a distinction between Devaki and Kunti Maharani. Krishna protected the sons of Kunti, right? All the 5 sons of Kunti Maharani, the Pandavas, were saved, whereas the 6 sons of Devaki were actually killed, right? Of course, there is a pastime that these sons actually represent the 6 anarthas, and there is a pastime behind that also, how they were delivered. But then here the point that we need to contemplate is that when we think, right, the Krishna's protection is not according to what we think Krishna has to protect, right? And here also another point, what is given here is the 6 sons of Devaki also who were killed. They also went back home, back to Godhead. So when Krishna kills also it is beneficial, and when Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe ke, when Krishna wants to protect, nobody can kill. When Krishna wants to kill, nobody can protect. But even when Krishna kills, it is liberation for the it is liberation even for the enemies of Krishna. Right? When Krishna killed various demons, they all attained liberation. And what to speak of pure devotees of the Lord? It is an opportunity for them to go back home, back to Godhead. Right? And also another point that we can contemplate here is that Krishna makes the devotee akinchana gochara. Akinchana gochara, not being dependent on anyone or anything other than Krishna. Right? And when one becomes helpless, right? And even Kunti Maharani will pray, right? Let me get more and more difficulties, right? In this verse, Kunti Maharani is expressing her gratitude to the Lord. You saved my sons and me from various calamities at so many points of time. So it is an expression of gratitude to the Lord for everything the Lord has provided us.